The movie's about the world as we know it is kind of entering into a new ice age, and this gateway has appeared above Earth that leads to another solar system, and over there is a habitable planet, but for every 1 year that passes on Earth, 18 years go by on the other side of the gate. So those early, migrants through the gate that have settled over there, they're now 584 years ahead of Earth, and when the rest of the Earthers decide, okay, the planet isn't habitable anymore, we're going to go through the gate too, those original settlers or their descendants on this planet Rhys, they don't want to let them in. So it becomes a sort of a space metaphor for Venezuelans trying to get into America. It's loads of fun, high stakes, and some really interesting world building, which is all the kind of stuff I love, really.
Someone's killed them.
Another crew member?
Who knows? I can understand Earthers killing each other over an air scrubber, but what excuse do these guys have?
We got the 360 rig to create that sense of gravity. You don't really know where up is down. The whole theme is that kind of circles throughout the ship, is to show the speed and the levels. So yeah, we just want to get a sense that something isn't quite straight. But this allows us just to keep it really steady as we go all the way around. But yeah, it's a pretty cool shot.
I love the way it's shot on this. I love the cinematographer, and George and Tom, the director, are doing a phenomenal job with the camera movement and the details that are going into everything that we're shooting. It's really making it a lot of fun. I think there's a collaboration. I think Stanislavski said it best with collective creativeness between, everybody's got to do their part, everybody's got to step up, because we're all trying to make like a masterpiece or painting. We're all striving towards that. It doesn't always work out that way, but I think that's everybody's intention that's in a production. I don't think people go in with malintent. I think that they're purposefully trying to make something that they can be proud of. I don't know.
Sure, you've got a lot of body wounds.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
G-Loc is set on a spaceship in the future, and something's happened to the Earth, and a lot of the civilization moved to another planet called Rhys. By the time the Earthers get to this new planet, the first settlers don't want them there anymore. So it's about a refugee crisis in space. I think sometimes if you put it in a world that someone doesn't know, actually it's easier for them to somehow understand our world at the moment.
Okay.
Is that all right, guys?
So track this way like that. Tom, so we'll just put it from about here. Great.
These are the flashback scenes to the film, so they really fill in Bran, our lead character's story, how he got to where he is, and it, kind of informs the theme of the movie as well. So they're really, really important, component pieces for the movie to work and for everything to pay off in the end. So we're using these snow candles today, which are, you light them and, they just give this amazing effect. It's the ones they use on Game of Thrones for the wall. So it's, really helping to sell the idea that, Earth's going into a new ice age, but it's looking good.
I think she is a very challenging character to play. She's younger than myself, and she's in such a different world. Like, Earth is completely destroyed and they've fallen upon hard times. It's a really tough environment to be growing up in. And like I said, she loses a mum fairly early on in the film, and so she's just got her granddad and her dad to really like pull through, but she's very smart. So the money that I get handed is basically my ticket out of there, so it's my way to pay to be allowed to go through the gate. Yeah, so it takes a lot of money to get out there. It's kind of, I guess, like, if you think about the refugee camp things that's going on at the moment with the people trying to get to England and they're paying all this money and they're getting put in these like little boats. It's kind of basically that, but we're trying to get away from Earth because Earth is dying.
Listen to me.
Cut out there. Okay, that was really good. How do we feel, Matt? Better?
G-Loc is a splendid sci-fi film based on the end of Earth and the beginning of another world. My bit concerns the end of Earth. Earth getting cold, seasons getting shorter, growing seasons diminishing to the point where shortly nothing will grow. It's the end of Earth. Henry's a good man. He's an old man. He endures.
Let's try the machine.
This is it. Give it a go.
And then I can run out. Well, is that right, Tom?
Let's try and see which way the machine's going now. Halfway through that just changed again. It's going to be like that. It's looking for pieces. They've got the right consistency. That's name of the game, eh? You know, it's super important to me that the aesthetic of this film was what was coming out of my head, you know, because there's so much world building going on here. And so I, rather weirdly, I think, for a director in this kind of system, I moved in the day construction side, and I've been here ever since. So every hour I'm going around and helping shape the circular look of the tunnels, and trying to build in story elements that I think, although they're not necessarily important to this plot, they imply the bigger mythology that I've created here. And it's been really interesting because I'm used to working with locations as I see them. So to finally have something where literally everything you're seeing around you I feel has come out of my head to some degree, it's really cool, and I've really enjoyed it.
From the left.
I would always prefer to go left to right. Always.
Western culture.
So you want it to go that way?
Yes.
So it starts here and it comes in from left to right.
Because your eyes are left to right, so you follow the door. If you go the other way, you feel like something's up.
Apart from Rian's.
There's a language in the film that's completely made up for the purposes of G-Loc, and the really important thing here was the idea that there was all these early migrants through this gate that went and settled on Rhea, and after 584 years their language has moulded together and it's become its own unique thing. And if you look around the whole ship, like, there is Rian on everything. We created the whole alphabet with very unique symbols, and it's literally printed down to the smallest detail everywhere. That medical pack on the wall needs Rian on it. That's kind of the cool part of doing this kind of movie, I think.
One more.
Yeah, so we're going to lay some tracks down here.
Well, I think that's probably the best way to handle it, unless you feel handheld will play off. Handheld's certainly quicker, but if you feel that, the track will probably look visually more interesting, right?
If we've got time, or it's worth doing.
I can give you 5 minutes to put this in. Doable?
Yeah.
Cool, go on then, 5 minutes. No messing.
Hold on.
We put like these fluorescent tubes in the floor, which just give that immediately looks sort of sci-fi. Lit from the bottom, some special gel, some secret special gel.
Take that off now.
I think it's a smart script, and when I read it, I thought, wow, this is really pertinent, and it really captures a lot of the passions that are going on in our world today, but set in a different way. And I think it'll make people think. I don't know if it'll necessarily change everybody's opinions. It might help open people up, but at least it gets the conversation going. I like films like this that make you think about talking to, whether you're far left or far right or in the middle. This gives you a conversation where you can talk about something. And it's all happening in a futuristic scientific setting, and I think it's poignant.
I think you can afford to come in a little later now, you know. So,
you mean the smoke or the fans?
Smoke. Fan's good, because obviously you're up and running then. So you, Earthers are going to rot on that tin can. Boom. You basically go on his last line. So I'm doing them a favour on favour. That's where we'll hit the shake, okay?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep,
I'm just waiting until he goes so they'll imagine. They're never going to let us all down in Rhea. Seen how it is, lived among them, heard the lies they tell about us.
That was good.
I thought that was really great.
That was better timing, wasn't it?
Okay, so Steve and Casper want to go and chill for 5 while we get this set up ready for 91, and then it's just Steve back on. Thank you guys.
No more dialogue for the rest of this. For me. That was it for my
favourite.
Yeah. I don't have to talk anymore. My favourite part of being an actor.
So much better for everyone else.
So
loads
much.
of grunts, loads of. Steve's going to cross frame against the G-force, so that's up for him to sort of ad-lib in a bit of sliding and that. Then he'll make his way to here, where Edison will speak to him, and he'll take the harnesses from here, right? Then we can do like a hard cut. We assume he's put the harness on. We go to the end of the corridor, like whereabouts comes to, and we see him coming. Okay, so can we hook a bunch here, please, then?
Declan?
Get that done. So I don't need another one of those, but a little bit more, depth width would have been nice. Right. Putting all that into it. It's like a full-on exercise, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit nuts what you can do with a leaf blower and some sticky back plastic. This is the end of week 1. I'm really looking forward to my curry tonight and a long day in bed tomorrow.
Hiya, Des, fight coordinator.
Fight.
Hiya, Steve.
Stunty.
Hi, Poppy. It's Nick.
This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. Andy VFX.
This is the director.
Hey, how are you?
This is all your fault, isn't it?
This is entirely my fault. I'm so sorry. How you doing? You right?
Hey guys, this is the bad.
He's the bad guy who's got me here working for him.
Only for a little while. I'll send him
me
back, I promise.
for 3 weeks. There we go. Say hello. Hi there. How you doing, Spence?
Okay. We're down to 41%, but that should be enough to get us back to the refugee station.
No, you're down to 12% oxygen. You wouldn't make it.
I can hold my breath.
For 13 hours?
What else you got for me?
You're not going to like it.
Try me.
Look, there's a damaged Rian supply ship called the Nisa nearby. It's currently running on auxiliary power, and if there is anybody on board, they're not making any radio noise.
What's wrong with the ship?
No idea, but I might be able to get it back online.
Yeah, but if the crew is still alive, they're going to give me the death penalty and just flush me straight out into space anyway, aren't they?
What, will you suffocate? Just like you will in this escape pod?
Well, when you put it like that, what are we waiting for?
We're going to need to accelerate if we're going to make it in time.
How fast are we talking?
G7.
Ouch.
You're going to need to use half the fuel in the thrusters to fire us towards the Nisa. It's possible you might have a stroke.
Oh, nice.
And then when I tell you to, you need to flip the ship and fire the remaining fuel in the thrusters in the opposite direction to slow us down. Otherwise, there's a possibility that we might explode.
Great.
Yeah, so I play Edison, which is a voice-only character, but he's going to feature throughout the whole film. So he's a little CGI stickman. He's an AI assistant that is basically the information element to the story for when things get a bit tricky. Edison's obviously aware, using his software and hardware, and what he knows within the confines of the ship.
Edison's kind of the one character in the film that sort of gets how stupid all of this is. He's like, you know, why doesn't everybody just get along? And so the idea came about that we kind of make him this blank slate stick man, you know, that projects from the device he comes from, and then later on he projects from the ship. So it brings this kind of weird bonkers edge to the film, you know, and hopefully when people see it, that it's kind of on the right side of simple, yet iconic enough that they're like, that is a cool AI.
Without ruining any of the story, he's not going to be your standard robotic AI. No, he's gonna have character for sure.
Great.
In that bag next to you, there's an anti-G pen. If you feel yourself hemorrhaging, stab yourself in the heart with it.
You're just a bundle of laughs this morning, aren't you?
A little higher, actually.
Will you shut up?
I was just saying.
Well done. All right, Edison. Start the countdown.
3, 2, 1. Communication beacon, turn now, Bran! Now!
His Ice Age is coming, but it hasn't quite got here yet, so it's those last few days before Earth dies, basically. So there'll be a big snowdrift across here. Our main characters, when we meet them, have lost somebody really close to them, and it's kind of the thing that starts the story rolling, if you will, and ends up with Bran going to space. So it's a big scene. It's got to look good, and fortunately we've got a good sky and a good sunset for it, and the set itself looks cool. So let's see what happens, eh? On this wide, you don't need to part the earth or anything, just because we'll get that on the closer. That's where you'll drop the seeds in. As he's doing it, Henry places a hand on your shoulder, tells you, nothing will grow. You say, I know, but they were a favourite. You say, mine too. You stay down at the grave as a tear rolls down your eye, and then we're going to pull up and show the gate to the audience on the wide. When you do science fiction, the kind of science fiction that stands the test of time anyway, it's, it takes real world issues and the kind of things that we deal with as human beings, normally the really shitty things we do to each other, and it finds a way to repackage them in a more, entertaining wrapper, so to speak. But, the movie itself is kind of designed to be a bit of a pointed look at, to certain groups of people and say, well, how would you like it? How would you like it if your home came under threat and your family, you didn't feel safe for your family anymore? Like, what lengths would you go to? And cut that there, you got it. All right, let's jump in. No, we can't do one more. We're out of time. Come on, you got it. That's it. End of. We're getting handheld now. Yeah.
I think every moment you have to strive for the magic moments. You wanna see if something can work. You want to feel it. You want to experience. You want to use something from that's inside you, and it can be from a personal experience, or it can just be from something you've read or felt, something that you feel deeply. You want to try to bring that out, and that's the magic moments. And I feel you fail as an actor if you don't do that. But as an actor, we go to these places that we're not supposed to go as men, or at least we think we're not supposed to go to for wherever society has trained us to do. So as an actor, you want to train yourself to go against that and really bring it up. And the safest place for me to do that, even though it's raw and you're in front of all these people that don't even know and other men, it's the safest place to do it is on the set, because you're bringing, and you want to, because you want the audience to feel this, so you want to bring this out. And those moments, I think I was able to do a couple of these in this. At least it felt like it for me. Well, it was for me, so it was a magic moment for me, and I believe it was captured on camera.
It's an emotional roller coaster that you're really going to go through with this film, and there's so many different factors that come into it, and it's going to be entertaining, but it's also going to be like heartbreaking at moments.
Really
appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Pleasure's mine. Pleasure. Thank you for having me at your little party.
Yeah, thank you very much.
God bless you, sir. I trust I made your life hell.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap for Edison. 3 weeks shooting.
You're on camera now.
Huh?
Finally on camera.
And look at this. There couldn't be a better ending than this, right? I said to Tom, maybe you should do like a post-credit thing where, like, Baby Groot from when he's dancing.
Yes.
As the credits go.
And then of course the sequel begins with Edison facing the camera. Yes.
I love this, John.
All right.
I love this.
Edison facing the camera and saying, "Hello, I'm Edison.
I'm Edison.
Let me tell you a story."
Yes.
Once upon a time, there was an Earth that got cold. And then we came to another Earth, which is nice and warm and comfortable. The problem with this Earth, however, is that it has monsters in it. Monsters beyond the imagining of men or machine. I think the film has real merit and will really entertain. From what I've seen in it, it's good and it's shot well, it's acted well. The crew really know what they're doing. The director knows what he's doing. The story is good. And in the end, we're all suckers for a good story, aren't we? I am.